I have three things I would like to talk about tonight. Two of the things are kind of in one thing, but they're separate enough that it'll give me stuff to talk about. I apologize for the video quality because I know I've got the dome lights on and the quality probably, you can't really see me that well. But it is nighttime and I'm going for a drive, which, I don't know, it's kind of weird that when I'm in the car, I'm a lot more talkative than when I'm just kind of sitting at home in front of my desk. Obviously, I'm going to work on that because I want to be able to vlog comfortably wherever I'm at. But tonight, we're doing it from the car. The first thing I want to talk about are motivations for why you want to lose weight and get yourself in better health. Having your motivations and writing them down and realizing what they are, I think that is a huge tool to help you out in your personal weight loss, physical health improvement journey. So I've talked about a few of my motivating factors in the past vlogs, and one of them that I want to specifically talk about is the getting into roller coaster shape. Now, this really came to a head a couple weeks back when I did my Universal vlog. In the first part, we went down, I met up with Gabe, John, and Brandon, and one of the first things we went on was the Mummy the Ride. Now, I've been on the Mummy the Ride before. I was actually on it 4 years ago. It was during 2006 when I was in Southern California for my very first, and funny enough, last E3. We decided, originally we had 2 days that we were going to spend at E3, but with how busy E3 and everything was, pardon me while I get my wallet out of my back pocket here. Wallet. With how busy it was at E3, we decided to kind of skip the whole crowd and go to Universal. So when we got to Universal, one of the newest rides that was there that I hadn't been on was the Mummy the Ride. So we waited in line for the first row seating of the ride, and when we got there, the ride technician, I guess for lack of a better term, you know, kind of sized me up. It was like, you know, you might be too big for the front seats. We have seats towards the back that accommodate a bigger sized person. So I took that seat, and at that time I was, it was a very snug fit, but I was able to get, you know, latched in and was able to ride the ride. Over the past couple years, I've probably put on, I don't know, maybe an extra 10, 15 pounds or so, and I know that that was going to, no pun intended, that was going to weigh against me. So when we got there, thankfully it was early in the morning. There was absolutely no line. I told them to go ahead and jump on the front row, and I asked the tech, I was like, hey, you know, can you point out what seats are for the bigger people? And she's like, yeah, it's this one. So I hopped in it, you know, crossed my legs and thought real small. And, you know, pulled the lap bar down. It clicked a few times, and I thought I was cool. But then she came up and she's like, hey, you know, it needs to click one more time. The yellow bar needs to blah, blah, blah. And, you know, she was like, all right, well, let me release it and we'll try it one more time. So she did. I pulled it down, and I just couldn't get it any further. So I had to exit the ride. And so, you know, I left. They said they were sorry, and I mean, and it holds true now, is it's not their fault. It's not Universal's fault for making safety harnesses that don't accommodate bigger people, because, I mean, I'm definitely a big guy. So, I mean, I don't hate on them. You know, I know that it's because of my size and it's because of the choices I have made that have put me in that position, and it sucks, you know. So I was like, you know, I got no hatred towards them. So anyways, after that, when I walked out of the ride, I vlogged it. I kind of touched base on it. I didn't want to delve. I didn't want to dive too much into it because I was on vacation, and you don't want to dwell on bad stuff when you're on vacation. You just want to, you know, take the bad stuff, let it slide and move on from that. So I didn't make a big deal of it. But I did want to point it out in a future vlog, which is this one. So going back to my motivations, getting into roller coaster shape, some people did ask me, like, what is getting into roller coaster shape? Well, for me, it's losing enough weight that I can, pull those safety harnesses down far enough that I can ride the roller coasters. Losing enough weight that I can fit in the seats of these roller coasters without being uncomfortable. It's losing enough weight that when I'm sharing a lap bar with somebody, it doesn't have like 2 feet of gap between their laps and mine because it's snug to me, but because I'm so big, it's not snug on them. I had another instance, and this was years and years ago, probably back in 2002. I was at Magic Mountain Six Flags, and we were going on the Riddler's Revenge, and that is a stand-up roller coaster. I'm not sure, I may have already told this story, but I'm going to retell it anyways. It's a stand-up roller coaster where there's a support that comes up. Okay, so I'm just going to pull over so I can finish doing this. So the way it works is you stand up in the roller coaster, and there is a bottom support that's got kind of like a bike seat that comes up that you can kind of stand, sit kind of on, and then they've got shoulder harness that comes down. So the bottom part, no problem. The shoulder part, that I got to click again. It clicked a few times, but the technician came up and said, hey, we got to get it to click one more time. So I was pulling on it and I couldn't get it to do it. So, and this was during a very, very busy time of the season for the amusement parks. There were a lot of people in line. So, oh goodness. So the technician came around and stood up in front of me, and he put one foot on the shoulder harness and basically he kind of braced himself and got it to click, and then I was able to ride the ride. That was my first taste of kind of not normally fitting on a roller coaster. Now, back then, this was 2002. Back then, I was probably about, I would say, 80 pounds lighter than I am now. So I was about 280 back then. And, here I am 80 pounds heavier. And it's like, I want to go ride roller coasters, but I'm afraid that every ride I get on is going to be a repeat of the Mummy the Ride. And if I'm with my friends, it's really embarrassing for me because, my friends are right there, and then you've got a whole bunch of strangers that are watching you get on a ride, and then, oh, sorry, you're too fat, you need to get off. Again, it's not the fault of the parks. I take full responsibility, but it's embarrassing for me. And that's why I haven't gone to Disneyland or Magic Mountain, and that's I had reservations about Universal because, the Mummy the Ride was a perfect example. Every other ride we did, I was okay with. The Simpsons, Jurassic Park, those I was okay with, but it's just I know I'm very aware of my size, so I'm very uncomfortable going to amusement parks. My size prevents me from going to amusement parks, so that right there is a huge motivator for me. It is something that, when I want to get a soda, it's right there in my mind. I think, okay, well, what do we want more? And again, I think I've already talked about this, but it's just one of those things. What do you want more? Do you want that soda, or do you want to be able to ride roller coasters? And let me tell you, after not being able to fit on the Mummy the Ride and having to get out, and thankfully there was no ride, that hits real close to home for me. So it still stings, and so it definitely makes healthy choices a lot easier for me because I just think about, well, how did that make you feel? How did I feel having them tell me, oh, hey, sorry, you can't ride the ride because the thing won't click an extra click because you're too big. I'll tell you what, it made me feel kind of crappy. That's kind of how it made me feel. More crappy at myself than Universal because, like I've said, and I've said it a number of times, I'm more upset at myself for letting myself get to this size and not having done something about it sooner. Motivating factors, guys. Jot them down. Constantly remind yourself of them. Keep them handy if you can. Print them out, put them in the glove box of your car. Keep a copy of them by your monitor at work or at home or whatever. Just keep them in your mind. For me, anyways, having those definitely helps me remain focused on the food plan. The food plan, the motivating factors and the story about Universal, those were the kind of 2-in-1 thing. The third thing I want to talk about, and the final thing I want to talk about for now, is I'm thinking about doing, I don't know how often I'll be able to do it, but I'm thinking about setting up weekly challenges for myself and have them so that, anyone that watches the vlogs and wants to try and follow them can. The first weekly challenge I'm thinking of doing is having 1 week, start with 1 week, 7 days of just drinking water as your fluids. No soda, no diet soda, no lemonade, just plain water. No flavors added to the water, like no Crystal Light, nothing. Just 7 days of straight water. And also putting a minimum of how much water to drink. So like, let's say 8 glasses of water, like general sized glasses, and then every day of that challenge, I will vlog myself fulfilling that day's challenge. So with the water drinking challenge, if I want to do it for 7 days, day 1, I'll just vlog myself drinking all 8 glasses of water throughout the day. Probably not going to be the most exciting thing, obviously, but again, it'll be proof that for these 7 days, I drank my 8 glasses of water. Like I had mentioned before, I am doing Power 90, which is 90 days of a 6-day-a-week workout program, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do these weekly challenges, is because I figured 90 days, that's a good 3 months. That's a good chunk of time. But if you break down a big chunk of time, kind of like if you break down a big thing of water and you break it down into small cups, it's a lot easier to drink for me anyways. It's a lot easier to manage. So I'm thinking, if I throw in some of these weekly challenges, it'll be something fun. It'll be something like I can do and you guys can do yourselves if you choose to. And it'll just kind of break up the 90 days. Instead of it just being 3 months of working out, it'll be, a week of working out and, oh, hey, I've got a weekly challenge that I'm going to vlog about. Week of working out, oh, hey, I've got another weekly challenge I'm going to vlog about. I don't know, I just think it'll be more fun. It might be a little bit more interactive, get some people more interested in watching my vlog, which is kind of one of the things I'm working on, is trying to get more interest in my vlog. I mean, I'm still going to vlog no matter what, even if it's just me, even if I'm just filming it for my own purpose. But I'm trying to think of some things to get some interactivity going, to get some more interest in it, maybe get some more subscribers, and then, the more subscribers I get, maybe I'll get more comments of different things like, okay, perfect example, if you guys have any ideas for a weekly challenge, leave comments down below. I always read my comments. I try to respond to all of them. As you can tell, my vlogs don't get too many views anyway, so it's not like I have hundreds and hundreds of people replying or leaving comments. So if you have any ideas for weekly vlogs or for a weekly challenge, leave the comments down below. These are the things I want to work on. Try and get more interactivity going, trying to get these things more exciting. I'm going to be creating some different intros for the weight loss vlog. I'm going to come up with a name for this adventure of mine instead of just weight loss vlog, because it's very generic and a lot of people use it. I'm not hating on those of you that use it. I'm itching to put some creativity of mine into all these vlogs that I do, the weight loss ones and the non-weight loss ones. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. But for now, that's all I got for today's weight loss vlog. So hopefully I'll have this posted later tonight, and we'll go from there. May all your choices be good and healthy.